All right, ladies and gentlemen, do you remember when I said I wasn't going to talk about Unknown 9 Awakening anymore unless something egregious or big happened, whether with the game or the studio or something along those lines? Well, looks like that's exactly what ended up happening. We have an absolutely insane story that I've been meaning to get to. I just haven't had time to get to. I'm getting to it a little bit late, but that's okay. You know what? Hopefully I can let more people know about it. Unknown 9 Awakening, inside of this terrible game that I played, has some of the most egregious, and I mean egregious, NPC dialogue that is made from a studio that supposedly hired SBI to make sure that representation was properly done. Apparently, that wasn't really happening because they have decided to input NPC dialogue that, when translated, completely takes you out of what's supposed to be in 1912 India.
Inconceivable!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is supposed to be 1912. That's the year that the game takes place, and some of the stuff that they're talking about in the NPC dialogue, when it's caught, is absolutely ridiculous. And it just goes to show that this was lazily made, right? This was not made with any care or thought to, representing India properly. This was not made with any detail that people, who hire a consultancy firm would look for, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you're hiring SBI, and SBI is supposed to ensure proper representation, and SBI is supposed to be a proper narrative, design and everything like that. This company just completely went super lazy with these NPCs. So let's get into this article, guys, from smashjt.com. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it has a headline that reads, Unknown 9 Awakening's NPC dialogue accidentally exposes Sweet Baby Inc.'s grift, putting the con in consultancy, Kim Belair and David Bedard of Sweet Baby Inc. and the grifters behind Unknown 9 Awakening. Smash JT is absolutely going for the throat here, and I love it. So it says Sweet Baby Inc. was supposedly founded on the promise of creating culturally sensitive narratives, advertising themselves as a consultancy agency for game developers to ensure accurate and respectful depictions of diverse cultures. Supposedly, SBI's mission is to bring cultural awareness to video games, educating developers on what is socially acceptable across various backgrounds. But as Unknown 9 Awakening has proven, SBI's co-CEOs Kim Belair and David Bedard are more focused on the idea of diversity than its actual substance, wielding the promise of cultural respect as a cheap facade to sell their expertise professionally. Now, I've said this so many times to the point of nausea, where I know, we all know, right? SBI is just like many other consultancy firms are just racial grifters at the end of the day. What they're doing is they're selling the perception of experience or expertise when really they're just relying on the fact that developers and studios are so damn scared to not be involved with consultancy groups because they don't want to be called racist or whatever. They're so damn scared of bad PR that they're willing to hire these people just so they can point to them anytime somebody tries to claim something about the company. They use SBI as a shield against any claims of, I guess diversity or consultant. Like, I don't even really know what to call it. Any claims of racism, really, at this point. That's what they really tried to do. So they hire these companies in order to do that. Now, they know most likely that these companies are not really trying to provide any level of expertise, because we've seen this happen with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Look what happened when they hired a consultant on Assassin's Creed Shadows. What did you get? You got Chinese architecture. You got Chinese subtitles for a Japanese trailer, right? You got all the kind of seasons messed up, right? Nobody seems to know what grows when or how, whatever. Nobody bothered. You got flags that were being stolen from actual Japanese organizations without their permission. You got all kinds of stuff. All they did was Google certain things, and that was their level of expertise. Now, we have a video here from Smash, and I clipped out the part where it's important to showcase the NPC dialogue. I need you guys to watch this. Remember, keep in mind, this is in 1912 India. Yeah, let's play it.
Most laziest game came out this year. This scene is set in Bengal region of India back in 1912. To make the area sound crowded like a bustling market, the devs added random conversation from the internet. How do I know? Well, these NPCs talking in Bangladeshi Bengali language, which is very similar to my mother tongue, which is Indian Bengali language. I added subtitle. Now enjoy.
Coffee, waiter, coffee, please. That's insane. Chili chicken. Look at this gibberish, bro. Oh my God. Okay. Now listen, I get it, man. Companies have used assets that, to create this kind of like overall dialogue in bustling cities and whatnot, but they have to make sense, right? Even if it's at the bare level, they have to make sense. But when you have a random person in 1912 India screaming, waiter, waiter, coffee more, please, waiter, waiter, chili chicken, like, what the fuck is going on here? How do you even allow that to even be a thing without being laughed off the face of the fucking earth? And then on top of that, shout out to New Blackstreet, Kata in a trace over there. They discovered this video for all of us to make videos on. But this is insane. There was one point where they asked for fried rice and chili chicken. Like, I'm just... Anyway, when Bandai Namco contracted Sweet Baby Inc. for Unknown 9 Awakening, I'd assumed they had expected a nuanced, respectful portrayal of the Bengal region in 1912. Instead, players were giving a lazy, slapped-on attempt that's offensive in its sheer lack of effort. The region feels like a ridiculous caricature rather than any real, authentic cultural representation. It's filled with inaccurate, laughable NPC dialogue, showing complete disregard for the nuances of the region. Kim Belair is credited as story architect, and she oversaw these narrative choices, yet her product shows zero understanding of or respect for the culture that they supposedly set out to portray. Somebody please tell me again why these consultancy groups exist other than to extort money out of companies not knowing any better. Now here's the thing, Smash. What I would say is that the companies absolutely do know, right? They do know. The thing is, I feel like they're forced to hire these studios. They're forced to hire these consultancy groups because now it's at this point where it's part of the development process. They want to be able to, or they have to be able to say that they had consultancy from diverse groups, like whatever. They had consultancy while working on this game because they don't want to put out a video game and risk any claims of racism or cultural, whatever. They don't want to do that without having the ability to say, well, we actually hired a consultancy group that told us that this is the way to go, that this is the proper representation, and we were just following the direction from the consultants that we hired. That's why they do this stuff. They use it as a shield for any criticism that may come their way. So even if they do stuff like this where it gets caught saying fried rice and chili chicken and coffee waiter and all that stuff, they can still point to their consultancy group and say, look, they're the ones who consulted on us. They gave us some advice. We put it into the game. It's all our faults. We're sorry. We'll do better next time. And that's basically it. SPI has constantly indirectly claimed themselves as the gatekeepers of cultural sensitivity, that their consultancy service ensures respectful narratives in games, but in the Bengal region of Unknown 9 Awakening, they missed the mark by miles. Analyzing the dialogue choices for NPCs show everyone just how poorly researched and shallow the execution truly is. The developers filled the bustling streets of a Bengal market with random contextless phrases that were clearly ripped off randomly on the internet. And again, this is not the first time this has happened. There's a lot of studios that do this, but at least when they do it, they put it inside of an area in their game that it makes sense in. So even though it's lazy, you can at least say it makes sense to what's being portrayed, right? Something like this would belong in, I don't know, fucking Cyberpunk or something like that. You know what I mean? When you walk into a restaurant, but it doesn't belong in a 1912 Bengal region where everybody's in the fucking streets, in the markets. You know what I mean? It just, you're screaming for a waiter to give you coffee. What kind of nonsense is that? So again, they don't care. It's not an actual thing. Them caring has never been a thing. All they care about is ensuring that they get hired and continue to be hired to push the same nonsense that they always do, while claiming to care about diversity, but using that diversity in order to gain themselves profit and money, which at the end of the day, that's just what it is, man. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.